Hey guys, today's video is a tip video on how to get perfect painted plywood edges. The secret really is just to use Drywall Compound. It's pretty cheap and it's very easy to work with. It's available at most home centers and it's going to be a lot cheaper than trying to use wood filler. If you already have a bucket like this sitting at home, you really have to make sure that you mix it up because you'll see that it's separated since the last time you've used it. As you can see, I'm just using my fingers to put the Drywall Compound on the edge of the plywood. You can use a putty knife, but I found that it was going to be too hard to actually use the putty knife, so I'm just going to use my fingers. I'm also applying a little bit of pressure to try and work in the Drywall Compound into the end grain of some of the plies. Also, I'm trying to work it into any cracks or voids that may be in the plywood. And make sure that you clean up the faces of the plywood, just because anything that's left over is just going to need to be sanded off and create more dust in the finishing process. When you are finished, make sure to put the lid back on the bucket of Drywall Compound, because this stuff will dry out and you will have wasted the entire bucket. After about an hour of dry time, the Drywall Compound will be completely dry. Make sure that you use a dust mask or something to prevent dust from getting into your lungs, because this stuff creates a lot of dust, as you can see. I'm also just using a palm sander and I'm going over the ends and breaking every corner because this is a handrail after all. Now that I'm done sanding, you can tell that the edge is a lot smoother than what it would be if it was plywood. And it seems that I've filled in all the end grain and edge grain that I needed to. My mom really wanted to help out with this project, so I let her paint it. The only thing about painting with a brush is that it's going to leave a lot of lines and possible drips on any edges that you may have missed. Whereas if you wanted to get a perfect finish, you would definitely have to use a spray gun. A spray gun is going to limit any drips. It's going to give you a perfect surface, and it's almost impossible to match a spray finish with a brush or a roller. If you don't have a spray gun, just use a roller or a brush. Make sure you use long strokes and clean up any drips that you can find. I only did 2 coats, but you can tell the difference right here. The top one is just a plain plywood edge, and the bottom is where I use Drywall Compound. You can see a pretty big difference. The only problem is it's not perfect because you can see the lines from the brush. But if you were spray finishing, it would be a totally different situation. So that's it for this quick tip video, guys. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I try to put out videos every week, and I will have a full video on this handrail coming out sometime next week. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.